Hello, my friends. This was intended to be a short reading, but it decided not to be. So, here we are. First of all, we have Three of Stones, Three of Pentacles in reverse. So, this is a situation where the ability to communicate and collaborate and work together just didn't come together, didn't gel. And although it may have resulted in a period of stagnation, it looks like that period of stagnation is coming to an end. Or maybe someone has just decided to give up altogether and turn their backs on what could be. Particularly, they may be turning their back on this lover's connection. It's not unusual. People want to... the status quo is easier, even if it is unhappy sometimes. And we have underneath this lover's card the Flower of Stones in reverse. So this is someone who is kind of an Ebenezer Scrooge kind of character. They are loyal only to themselves. They care only about their possessions, about their wealth. They are selfish and definitely not giving of anything. And yet we have the Temperance card between this person and the Nine of Stones. The Nine of Stones is kind of a lesser hermit card, so there has been a great deal of work done by this person, inner work in particular, finding discipline, self-cultivation, and there's been success. They are not so easily distracted, and they can get things done. They've discovered that they can do things by themselves. So they have a much greater inner strength and an awareness of their inner strength than they had before. If these two people are married, then it's not looking good. We have the Ten of Cups in reverse. This is the Ten of Cups in the upright is a card of happy families. It can be a card of some kind of soul connection. So it's not working. We have death next to it, so obviously it's coming to an end. And then we have the Seat of Cups on the other side. The Seat of Cups is a child. Sometimes I interpret it as a very childish adult, but in this context, it's pretty clearly a child. So someone has decided to do the work, and someone has decided to wimp out and just turn their back on the work because it's just too hard. And I didn't discuss the card at the center yet, which is Temperance. Temperance is finding your balance, believing in miracles, doing the hard things, and, for example, overcoming addictions. Temperance is an obvious reference to an overindulgence in addictive substances. But the other thing to remember about temperance is that typically the character is pouring a liquid from one cup to another cup, and the liquid is flowing at an angle, which is, of course, physically impossible. So temperance, although it can be a very boring card, everything is balanced, everything is on an even keel, there's nothing exciting, nothing to see here. But then we have, this hint of miracles with the liquid that flows on a diagonal. And of course, it is also a call to balance the spiritual and the physical. But we have it between two people here. The other card is not a court card, but it's clearly referring to someone else, someone different. So we had with the Two of Stones, no, Two of Thunder, sorry, in reverse, we had someone who was On the one hand, it's possible that there was an end to stagnation, but considering that this is a flower of stones in reverse, I'm going to have to go with someone who's given up and is feeling sorry for themselves and self-indulgent and has decided to just look out for themselves. And yet they do seem to be looking back, looking towards the Nine of Stones, Nine of Pentacles person who has done the work, who is leading a happier life, who is starting to reap the rewards of all their work and effort. But there is obviously a great imbalance between these two people. I mean, you could say there is a balance because one is at one extreme and the other's at the other extreme, but maybe not. I suppose a person who has done the Nine of Stones work is not actually at an extreme. They have learned to balance. And the Flower of Stones person is just watching their life crumble, their family crumble, the end to everything. Hopefully somebody's taking care of this Seat of Cups, this page, and not just wallowing in their self-pity. Although it does look like the Nine of Stones person could do a good job. If the Flower of Stones person lets them, right? Again, there's no gender in tarot. The Flower of Stones person can be male or female. Anybody who's indicated on the cards, whether they're apparently male or female, can be either gender in real life. So, this looks like a complex situation. We have one person moving ahead, one person doing the work, and the other person not moving, choosing to wallow in their misery, and they're just, it's a choice that they made, so they can make a different choice. And I suppose that's the important thing to remember, is that they can make a different choice. All right. But what do you, the viewer, need to know about this situation? Why is this being brought to your attention? You may know everything about it already, or think you do. But let's see. Going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot just for fun. What does the viewer need to know about this situation? It's a few too many cards, I think. Maybe not. Oh, not. Okay, good. We have the Hermit as a block. So while the Nine of Stones, or Pentacles, is a sort of lesser hermit, we have someone here, the Flower of Stones, who has refused to hermit, I believe. They just want to keep living their life the way it's always been, even if it makes them miserable. Yeah. Ten of Swords. They don't like the way things are. But they are the one who has chosen to be selfish, disloyal, cold, the opposite of supportive and nurturing. So, if they want some sort of reconciliation with the Nine of Pentacles person, this is interesting. They're going to have to change their position. Perhaps they're considering the Hermit now. What does the viewer need to know about the Flower of Stones, the Flower of Pentacles? I'm going to put this up here, since this is the main focus right now. Okay, what else do we need to know about this Flower of Stones in reverse? We have the Hierophant and the Mother of Swords, both in reverse. All right. I'm going to take a look at the Kim Kranz's book because she really likes to, she jumps right into the archetypes. There it is. It's interesting, it's the crow or the raven, I'm not sure which one. Okay, mentor, seeking knowledge, but of course it's in reverse. In its simplest form, the Hierophant represents a mentor or teacher. This card signifies a hunger for knowledge, whether it is in the practical or the spiritual realm. You've come as far as you can on your own. Now it's time to deepen your practice. Don't hesitate, join a class, go to a workshop. Don't be afraid of new experiences. A new ceremony or ritual may prove to be both comforting and rewarding. Open your heart, and your teacher will soon appear. Now we have the Mother of Swords. This would be the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords in the upright is excellent at boundaries and discernment. Knows what she's doing. They're doing, sorry, no gender. Sharp, perceptive, very honest. And you can't fool the Mother of Swords. Experienced, knowledgeable, perceptive. This card can sometimes represent a woman going through a difficult time. She may be recently widowed or divorced and usually without children. During this time, there's potential for her criticism to soar. It is possible that we're dealing with a person in a female body here. Because we've got two cards, one very specifically saying mother, but also saying she's likely not a mother. And the Fool. This was either in reverse or sideways, so... The Fool, of course, is being willing and ready to take the leap into the unknown. It's scary. It's amazing. And finding that courage, that strength to cross that boundary from the known to the unknown, even when you can't see the next step, the path forward, you're not even sure it's there. That's what's being asked of this person now. And perhaps it is you. And perhaps, well, the Ebenezer Scrooge is a story of someone who does choose to stop being selfish. And although it happened quickly in the story, it's not likely to happen quickly in real life. But it stems out of belief in scarcity, a lack mentality, of course, and definitely a hardness of the heart. This is a person who has locked everyone out of their life. And perhaps they are terrified of feeling. If you remember the story of Ebenezer Scrooge, he lost everyone in his early years that he cared for. And perhaps that's happened to this person as well. Now they're being called to open up, and it's a very, very challenging task. If this is you, viewer, I would suggest getting some help. This is part of the Hierophant card, and partly because if you do have an Ebenezer Scrooge-like background, that's not easy to overcome. And this life is not a movie, so be realistic about what you need and what will help you to deal with that situation. I don't think there's anything more to be said to the person who has been doing the work. They have their own challenges to continue to deal with on their own. It looks like single parenthood is a real possibility. And being able to stand on their own 2 feet is something that person has been working on. If that's you, the viewer, congratulations. It sounds like you've made a lot of progress in learning that you are enough all by yourself. And keep going. One final closing thought for this group, whoever you may be. We'll go with the wisdom of the oracle. Regeneration. So, perhaps the miracle implied by temperance is possible, huh? 46. That would be 10. Unfinished symphony. All right, 46. Regeneration, essential meanings, rebirths, second chances, new opportunities. The Oracle's message, second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by something better and more powerful growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. Protection message. Endings come in many forms, and now is the time to stop holding on to what must die, so that something better can take its place. Nature's cycles include disease, decay, death, and regeneration. Let whatever isn't working in your life die. Don't be afraid to face the facts. There is no need to struggle or grieve. Whatever your query, let it go. You're about to be reborn. So it looks like, well, that's the thing about death. You can't put it off indefinitely. Sooner or later, it happens. But the possibility of something new is there. So let that comfort you when you are feeling overwhelmed. And I wish you all the best.